Alright, the remainder of Der Mae'Stro'S posthumous papers will be a conclusion of 1, 2, 3, 4 poems completing a 52-page manuscript. And this is Philip Lawrence Sherrod, poet, composer, painter. With the love of my life, these black turtle beans took 2 weeks, soaking and stroking Iberia's Michigan's #1 grade. Almost weren't worth it, even if distributed by Foods Corp Brooklyn, stamped July 7th, 2000. Kept them around for the ultimate race against time and Father Saturn, unbeknownst to Garrison Keillor, always talking his fool head off, but getting paid for it. Bought them upstate on one of my Adirondack rambles, trying to catch my quota of Cedar River flow brookies. Did I catch my quota? No. But on with the fishy fiasco. Caught between sunup and sundown, no wonder Hemingway shot himself in mouth. One could be assassinated by the outhouse reds. Creative sounds like my 14th Street blues, played on McIndoe's Settergren piano, or my Hosimof, or my Baldwin Acrosonic, doesn't compare to such melodies of this fruit's toot. Of course, what most people don't know, any sound 'tis a relative, and reminds me of being alone. 'Tis less embarrassing social-wise, me made by my mother and controlled by Ann Lender's bedside manners, used to hear her scream in the night in pleasure, and gurgling sounds in throat. Leaves one in philosophical question, did pleasure increase animality, or terraced creative inclinations of small-town, hard-shelled psychologists? And who knows, better than I, that the rabbit did not win the race to liquidate wet, black reality highlights gleaming on your back and mine, working our fool hands off? The social middle-class pigs are to blame, puffing their chest up in dictatorial dream. Do this, be that, while we pull sweat gloves out of the hat. Even if 'tis September 07, 2006, those beans were the love of sweet dedication, sweet meat of slowpoke and outbackin' camping. Number 2. Wine-tasting attitude with young Aries, Outbacker, Australian chick, and Jim Bowie knife. Strapped to the fancy belted psyche, trying to save the last duck-billed platypus, call it woman. Given fatalistically a moon in Pisces and 15 degrees in nature's lie, and Mercury in 29 degrees of deception, and by default, a wood rat. Gnawing at the bore portals of fame, poor excuse for some concern or conclusion with laser beam mentality, yet standing erect and strong and conscious, and with her aliens pointed, her flesh to the sky and flexible spine held at 60 degrees of computers launching, yet cuddly, Dudley, cutie pie being sliced by knife of life, had something to say, stuck at the gum line, tooth nervously fidgeted when I looked at her liberal attitudes, me, an educator, with maximal tendencies and inclined to tell her the truth of how to catch the blue-ringed octopus without budging an inch, put me in good stead. Yet Sylvia Catherine was nervous, perceiving her mother could have been wrong. Within statute of limitations, me coming down hard under on her. But education has its cost. Like carrying saltwater crock and negligent information. And when I asked her why my class, she said others were full. Poor excuse to take a modern course in William Blake's Damn It All on 14th Street Armory Show. In 1914's nothing like having just another or enough education to bawl and sort out all the issues standing up, but be it as it may, Sylvia Catherine Smedley Locke stood strong at the gates of Pillipock, and shifting her petite body like baby Loch Ness Sydney. No one cars called when I asked, and she had never grown hair under her arm pits, me seeing full there, and she told me she smelled too strong when she went ding willy nelly in kangaroo red court. Women circling like sharks, me suddenly aware as Gloucester fisherman that the cyclic flourish 'tis over. I mean, a government's ban on fishing, and then what? The big boys don't know. All hearty and hale as halibut cod, or cod's piece, there's a fishy smell to the stinking mackerel's tail. I mean, boys, even though you don't know anything about how to hook the big one that got away, neither do I. After the bluefish is run, your occupation 'tis over. And I feel your scaly confusion, and let time pass, and in 100 years or so of your deceasement like mine, like yours nature will hopefully repay Mother Ocean with Jesus breaking loaves into fishes. Take up painting and do a better job than I. Paint them fishy fuckers like stinking women, of course. Don't misunderstand me. Without the bail, nothing's worth the catch in hell or jail. And I just loves fishing. And you can tell a fisherman's boot anywhere still got that smell. But the sharks are circling. And one day I left my fisherman's buddy, Shakespeare tackle box, a collector's item, on the D train down in Brooklyn. After hooking a couple of flounders off Sheepshead Bay and Brighton Channel, and I can never forgive myself for losing all those freshwater fishing lures. I mean, they were the doozies, painted red and green and yellow and black and off brown to gray-green with little golden twetties hanging something for the big-mouth bass that broke water on a lazy afternoon in Oklahoma, sleeping under an old rotten log, only occasionally a slight gillbeat, then rising up like Gilgamesh, swallowing the whole rotten thing. And the final conclusion to Der Mae'Stro'S posthumous papers is women crawling out of woodwork like cockroaches, endless cell phones, me while driving, changing panties, lipstick for the betterment of women's health and life's death's procurement. She lay in her grave dead. Something like cold, necrophilia, imposed upon all by you. After 26 years of deceasement, like, who's going to complain? I still get her Social Security benefits. Thank you, Elena. You are my Greek-appointed oracle, seer, my accoutrement to success, my inner tube to life's float, no matter how unfloatable I might be, my self-appointed intuitive life, for a full imagination times 3, symbolic of futuristic achievement, depleted by hieroglyphics unknown, at present UFO time, crop circles plowed and quizzically proud. How about Dr. Boswell or Dr. Bosley massaging truth to its local benefits, without taxes, for the local communities, and in public square a bronze statue commemorating nothing, much less admonishing all. Allison Jean Crosby 'tis guilty for not taking on post-nuptial agreements, staring at me and calling me mad. Mad dog that I am. Madman I'm not. But nothing's safe in this universe's snake, her second sign hidden behind gullible rabbits, Aquarian perched in symbolic tree, ready to strike its prey, with bottom jaw dropping down, so's the swallow 'tis complete, ending up as another lump in stomach, digested at random, like baby, like diversified cattle carcasses, prime #1 beef, that she yelled at me in Art Students League, not wishing to understand my need for her straight DNA as cream rises to the top of a cup of black Bustelo coffee from Medellin, Colombia, crema, tierra misu, my Entenmann's pig twist, and chocolate fudge cake for taste. All right, there you have it. A completion of the book of Der Mae'Stro'S posthumous papers, read to you by poet Philip Lawrence Sherrod.